My name is Tsepo Matsiba. I run a boutique agency called Reputation First, and I'm also strategic partner at Ebony and Ivory Advertising. It's good to speak to the alumnus of the University of South Africa. I myself studied at the University of South Africa. I've also studied with the Graduate School of Business Leadership, SBL, where I used to work. And so it's great to have a conversation about employability and social media. Yeah, so we know that social media has pros and cons. And so social media can do a lot of good for an individual as a personal brand, but it can also do a lot of negativity. So fake news, perhaps it's a division of a chapter in a book called Misinformation. Fake news can be spotted in different ways. The world over, media houses have something that we call fact checks. So a platform will have a fact check where you can actually verify whether something is true or not. The first obvious issue about fake news, whenever an article is shared online and sent to you via WhatsApp, is to just look at the domain name. And the domain usually tells a story. Sometimes people will say something comes from Department of Health _gov_ South Africa. Already you can see, if you are a reasonable user of online or the web, you can already see that there's a couple of problems there. But the bigger and obvious problem is a visible problem issue is actually often grammar. The use of language in fake news is often very, very, very poor. The punctuation's extremely poor, and the phone numbers are often non-existent, or they don't belong in the place where they say they should be. Where it gets more complex is when misinformation has a high degree of facts in it. So they take an existing story, but they twist it sharply a little bit. But they still make, that's difficult to spot, but they still make some serious errors, such as when you go and observe the email address, you may see that in South Africa, government communicates with .gov.za, no, never with .com. But a person who doesn't pay attention to detail may actually post information that supposedly comes from a South African government institution or from an academic institution such as UNISA with a .org address or a .africa address. And so some of these things are easy to spot. What matters the most is for us to be vigilant. And in the world of communication, we say that professionals must have a deeper understanding of their industry, a deeper understanding of their country, and a fair amount of understanding of geopolitical issues globally. How you authenticate information for social media accounts of companies is probably slightly easier, because you need to go to the website of the company and look for their social media platforms from there, as opposed to going to the social media platform directly. But the caution, some of the cautionary things to verify whether you're talking to the real person or the real company are very easy to spot. For example, you must be wary of accounts that were created only in the last 6 days or the last 24 hours. But they've got many pictures that were posted also in the last 7 days, but they want to engage with you and they want to offer you cryptocurrency opportunities and things like that, because it probably is not a real person. Very often, and that's why what you share on social media is as important to your prospective employer and clients as it is to the hackers. Because hackers simply copy and paste information, create another account in a different language in a different country, telling people that they are representing you or that they are yourself. And so that's why the whole question of identity theft becomes something that you must, as a professional and as a prospective employee, think very carefully about. But the verification of accounts is actually a question of if you want to see whether an account of an individual at least is authentic, look at how long they've been online, who's following them. Look carefully at the name of that account, because if the account is 24 months, 24 days old, or 24 hours old, or 7 days old, usually those are problematic accounts. There could be robots, or there could be people who are trying to rob you. And the minute they ask you for your banking details or your personal information, I believe you should really be consent immediately.